All right, so now we're going to skip ahead to problem number 9 from the test review because I just want to go over like a couple of each type of problem. So for problem number 9 on the test review, we've got 9n squared minus 19 equals negative 9n. And here we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. So remember, when we go to use the quadratic formula to find our a, b, and c, we've got to make it look like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now, if you notice, this looks different than the examples that we did on our last assignment. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is, let's just do this. We're going to say plus 9, because I got to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to say plus 9 on both sides. All right. So now this becomes 9n squared plus 9n minus 19 equals 0. And so what I did was I said, all right, I gotta write it. This is what we call descending order. I've got n to the second power, then n to the first power, and then technically this is n to the 0 power, no n, and it's set equal to 0. So there's one question. I'll give you a little precursor. There's one quadratic formula question on the test, and it's going to be worth 5 points. And so each point is just like that assignment. First step, setting it equal to 0. That's 1 point. Next step, we got to identify a equals positive 9, b equals positive 9, c equals negative 19. That is worth 1 point. The third point, you got to write out the formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Okay? So if you just do that, you're going to get 3 out of the 5 points. Okay? So then what do? Well, let's plug in the numbers and see what we get. So if I say x equals negative b, but b is 9, plus or minus the square root of 80, getting ahead of myself, 9 squared minus 4 times a, which is 9, times c, which is negative 19, all over 2 times a, which is 9. On the next line, I've got negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 81. Then I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator, and let's do it this way. Like this. So I'm going to say negative 4 times 9 times negative 19, 684. So I'm going to say plus 684 all over 18. 2 times 9 is 18. Let's see what we get. So 684 plus 81 equals 765. I don't think we can get a square root for 765. I think we're going to end up with a decimal here. Yeah, that's okay. So let's figure that out. So I said that this is negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 765. all over 18. Now, the problem is I get this crazy decimal. So I'm going to separate that. I'm going to say -9 plus the square root of 765 all over 18. And you could do that in one swoop on the calculator. Just do it like this. This is the easiest way because I don't want to type out this decimal for everything. So if I say -9 plus the square root of 765, that's going to give me a decimal. And then I have to divide that by 18. And I don't know, we'll just round that to, let's round it to 1.037. That's good. Okay. Now I got to do the other one. I'm going to say x minus 9 minus the square root of 765 divided by 18. Same thing, just plug it in the calculator. Now here's a neat little trick. If you push the up button and highlight this and hit enter, it puts it back in here, and then you can just go and switch that plus sign to a minus sign. So I hit enter, I get that, divide it by 18, and we'll just round that to 37 as well. So this one is approximately, remember when we round we use the approximation symbol, 2.037. Okay? And that's it on that one. Does anybody have any questions? Oh wait, gotta double check it, right? So this is 1 point. So let's say you do all this math and you miss it, and you make a mistake and you're like, oh, I can't figure out how to do it. Well, you still have one more opportunity to earn a point, and that's by just graphing it in Desmos and kind of sketching the graph. So if you go back here, you type in the original equation that was given to you. So we're going to say 9, but we can't use them. We have to say x. Oops. 9x. Oh, I got the caps lock on. 9x squared minus 19. I'm going to type it exactly how I see it. Remember, that's how the equation was when we started. Now it's going to be this wonky decimal, right? But that's exactly what we said. So what was the leading coefficient? What was A? Was A positive? Yeah. So we're just going to sketch it how we saw it. Okay. So we did have the right answer. Because A is positive, that means it's going to open up. This point here is 1.037, comma 0. This point here is negative 2.037, comma 0. And that's it. So this is worth 1 point, and this is worth 1 point. So that's how you get the 5 points on that, okay?